Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel T-Spot. In this video, the HBO dramas The Idol conclusion has arrived, and it maintained its status as the most scandalous program of the summer all the way through. The pop queen gave her backup dancer and fictitious pal Diane permission to use Jocelyn's song World Class Sinner as her own in episode 4 of the Sam Levinson created series, which left things looking bleak for Jocelyn. As if having her well-thought-out comeback ruined wasn't bad enough, she also finds out that Diane and Ted Rose previously knew each other and were romantically involved before Jocelyn and Ted Rose ever met. Jocelyn contacts her ex-boyfriend, Rob, to come over to her house in retaliation, and Rob is successful in making Ted Rose envious. Naturally, Jocelyn's plan goes awry when Ted Rose has Xander take a suggestive picture of Rob and a lady in little clothing. We are anxious to see how the 5th episode of the drama wraps up as Ted Rose crew, or should we say cult, continues to occupy Jocelyn's home as his relationship with her implodes, all while being closely watched by Destiny, Jocelyn's manager. You should watch to learn the complete breakdown of the mayhem caused by the Idol finale, Jocelyn Forever. Jocelyn expelled Ted Rose. Jocelyn calls Ted Rose out as the con man and the fraud that he is at the beginning of the episode as she finishes up her next song to present to her team. When Ted Rose's song raises some questions, Jocelyn silences him by announcing, "I'm done with you," recounting his full relationship with Diane. Jocelyn explains how their initial encounter was actually arranged. Chloe adds that Ted Rose has been visualizing seeing Jocelyn for forever. She requests that Ted Rose leave her home and requests that his artistic team remain. Ted Rose took charge of the meeting with Jocelyn. When Andrew Finkelstein convenes a meeting with Jocelyn at 1 p.m. precisely, everyone is on board. As she offers that Ramsey, Chloe, and Azak begin her tour, Jocelyn walks toward Ted Rose's crew is living at her home and informs them that she will showcase their abilities to her team and the record label. Ted Rose is told to lead the meeting, but instead he takes charge as the group welcomes the executives of the record label and a showcase gets on without Jocelyn. Xander suggested that Jocelyn was responsible for trapping Rob. Leia is currently coping with the repercussions of Ted Rose setting up Rob while the showcase is still in progress. As it turns out, Rob has been accused of sexual assault as a result of the picture Xander forced Rob to take with the scarcely dressed female. In the midst of the confusion, Leia is unable to talk with Jocelyn, but Xander makes it clear to her that she was aware of the accusations and may have even set him up. With Ted Rose, Nikki attempted to strike a deal. While the executives of the record label applaud the skill displayed by Ramsey, Chloe, and Isaac, Nikki seeks to strike a deal with Ted Rose for discovering such extraordinary potential. Despite the fact that he labeled her a CT, Nikki tells Ted Rose, "You're brilliant," while Destiny and Chaim laugh at their exchange. In order to get Ted Rose out of her life, Jocelyn instructed Chaim to offer him a deal he couldn't refuse. Jocelyn instructs Chaim to give Ted Rose whatever sum of money he needs in order to remove him out of her life after doing everything to persuade him to leave her home and her life, including threatening to contact the police. Security pulls Ted Rose into a vehicle with Chaim after a highly entertaining rendition of Little Red Riding Hood, at which point Chaim promises Ted Rose $500,000 in exchange for his assurance that he will leave Jocelyn alone. When Ted Rose throws away the check, Chaim switches to Plan B. Despite getting a check for $500,000, Ted Rose tears up Chaim's check and declares that Jocelyn is more valuable than money. Chaim goes on to Plan B after accepting his decision. After the fact, Chaim informs Jocelyn that he's done, adding that he had to pay him a lot. Leia traveled. Leia looks to be overwhelmed by the deceit after the showcase his pandemonium as she packs her luggage and leaves a note for Jocelyn on her bed. World Class Sinner was taken from Diane by Nikki. With Jocelyn back in charge, Diane's role at the record label is no longer necessary, and Nikki denies her the chance to perform World Class Sinner. Even when Nikki assures Diane that the record label has her back and that she shouldn't worry, it is clear that Diane will eventually vanish from view. When Ted Rose attends Jocelyn's concert, he is given a stern lecture. Ted Rose comes up at Jocelyn's concert just as Chaim and the other managers are bragging about how they brought Ted Rose down with a damning Vanity Fair article. He receives a hard lecture from Destiny when Jocelyn leaves him an artist's pass as Mauricio Jackson, during which she threatens to murder him if he ever hurts Jocelyn again. Jocelyn returned with Ted Rose. Jocelyn shows up following Destiny's stern warning and tells Ted Rose she's delighted he's there with her. Ted Rose understands Jocelyn fabricated her mother's abuse. Ted Rose takes Jocelyn's hairbrush from her dressing room and asks whether it's the one her mother used to smack her with. Jocelyn responds yes, despite Ted Rose's assertion that it is novel. As Ted Rose puts the jigsaw pieces together, Jocelyn's smile tells us all we need to know about how she made up her mother's alleged mistreatment of her. When Ted Rose and Jocelyn approach the stage, he appears startled. Ted Rose is introduced to the world by Jocelyn. As Jocelyn enters the stage, she declares that the pop star is now back on top and thanks her supporters for standing with her throughout the trying period. Ted Rose is subsequently welcomed on stage by Jocelyn, who also introduces him to the audience. After kissing Ted Rose on stage, it becomes obvious that Jocelyn is now in command as she says, "You're mine forever now, stand over there." Let us know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video. Thank you for watching. See you soon.